A very good morning to you. I am Jamie, and we got Aaron on board as well. And this is, of course, Relax Radio. This is the chat trap on Relax Radio. And we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. We're going to be talking about how you can stay motivated, how you can stay, as productive as possible to get going with your day. So if you want that little bit of inspiration, because trust me, every single person at some point in their life needs that little bit of a push, needs that little bit of encouragement to get on with their day. So if you want that little bit of inspiration and if you want to keep yourself updated with every single thing that is going on with regards to the entertainment industry, all you gotta do is make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relax Radio. Like I said before, we would absolutely love you to be a part of the show. Okay, it's all about you, it's all about what you want to talk about. So if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to let me know how your day is going, if you want to chip in into any of the conversations that we're having, we would absolutely love to hear from you. All you gotta do, if you're listening to us on any of our social media platforms, live on any of our social media platforms, all you gotta do is comment down below, and Aaron and I will both try to accompany you all throughout the conversation, and we'll definitely give you a big shout out. Now, with that being said, we have a lot of interesting conversation coming up. But before we move on to the more serious things, it's a Monday. Okay, and I of all people know that Mondays can be really, really tough. Okay, because I'm a person that loves to enjoy my weekend, and when it comes to getting back into that schedule of for Monday, it can be really tough. Aaron, are you that sort of person? Are you a Monday person, or are you a Sunday person?
You know what? Surprisingly, out of the odds, I actually do love Mondays. I'm motivated. I'm ready to go. I'm recharged after the weekend, and I actually look forward to taking on the rest of the week. I don't know why people think that weekends are only for having fun. I have fun all week as you know, James. But it's great to just get out, and even when the sun's shining like it is today, it's great to enjoy. A bank holiday Monday.
Okay, that for me is a whole new perspective, because I haven't met too many people that love Mondays. I think it's because I guess a lot of my friend circle, a lot of my friends, we kind of work 5 days a week, and then Saturday and Sunday is for like relaxing, and we don't really have time. As horrible as this sounds, we don't really have time to like enjoy on the weekdays. So we kind of take it out on Saturday and Sunday. And, we go all out, we have fun. So getting back into it on Monday, especially if you've had a late night, if you woke up really late on a Saturday and Sunday, and you went to sleep really late on Sunday night, it can be really, really tough, especially if you're a little hangover, to get back into the groove on a Monday. Trust me, I know how tough it can be. But now, for everybody that's listening in, what Aaron has a completely different perspective. So what I want Aaron to do, and I will chip in as well, I want to discuss with you a few things that you can do in order to get rid of your Monday blues, a few things that you can do in order to be as productive as possible on a Monday, and how you can how you look at Monday in a very positive, optimistic point of view, right? Aaron, what are a few things that you do in order to make sure that Monday is as productive as possible, and that you don't have Monday blues? I do want to point out that you brought out something very interesting, the fact that Saturday and Sunday is not just for entertainment. Like, you use your entire 7 days of the week, and you spread out your fun and enjoyment within the 7 days. And I think that especially is very helpful when it comes to dealing with the Monday. Do you want to talk to us about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's fantastic to kind of talk on how we can help people on their Mondays after feeling the highs of the weekend. Most people have a really big high in the weekend, and then when it comes to Monday, they're just a little bit flat and a little bit, disinterested in where they are with work, etc. Or, it could be the opposite. Some people can really enjoy their Mondays, but there is definitely a few tricks that we can help for our listeners here on Relax Radio to try and help you get over those Monday blues. So definitely one that I love, and it's so important, is it's a bit cliche, but definitely don't mess with your sleep cycle. Jamie, I don't know about you, but it sounds obvious, but not feeling well rested can have a huge impact on how you feel Monday morning. Like, missing out on the recommended 7 to 9 hours of sleep can maybe make you a bit more anxious, or even a little bit more, depressed. Now, I don't want to say depressed as lightly. I mean, And maybe that's not the right word to use, but a little bit flat, a little bit demotivated is probably a little bit better, to kind of explain that. Keeping your sleep and awake schedule close to what you're doing during the week to avoid messing up with your internal clock. So again, you don't need to stick to exactly the same routine, but try and avoid going to bed more than an hour or two later than you would during the week. I think that's definitely something that we need to, take on board. Our family here in Relaks Radio, we need to really let our listeners know that although the weekend is for having fun, try not to stay up too late, and try and just enjoy what you can, but stick to your boundaries. That'll probably benefit you a lot coming into Monday.
Absolutely. So if you are having trouble with, dealing with your Mondays, if you're having those Monday blues and you feel like, oh no, why is it Monday again? Then one of the most beneficial things that you could do is, like Aaron said, to follow a regular sleep cycle. It's good for your mental health, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to let go of having fun, or that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have fun and you don't enjoy life. No, you could enjoy life, but just make sure that you give priority to your sleep, especially if you're somebody that has a 9 to 5 job, or if you're somebody that has a lot of work to get done on a Monday. Then you need that sleep, and not just physically but for your mental health as well. It's super important, like Aaron said, to get that 8 hours or so of sleep, and make sure that you don't negotiate with that 8 hours of sleep. Right now, Aaron, another thing that that helps me essentially to get on with my Monday is to make sure that I prepare ahead. Right now, I feel like a lot of the time, for me personally, unlike Aaron, I'm the sort of person that has trouble dealing with Mondays. And first thing what I did was I tried to identify the problem, because like I always say, unless you know what the problem is, you can never find a solution. And for me personally, the problem lied with the fact that I am never prepared for a Monday. Every other day of the week, say if it's a Tuesday, I prepare for Tuesday on a Monday night. Whereas after having so much fun and maybe partying on a Sunday night, I kind of forget to have an organized schedule for Monday, if that makes any sense. And I realized that was a real problem, because when I wake up Monday morning, I don't even know what I need to get done for the day. And that can take such a huge toll on you mentally. So one thing that I do right now, every single week, like a prayer, is to make sure that every Friday night, soon after I finish my work or my studies or whatever it is, I make a list of things that I need to do Monday, so that I don't forget and procrastinate with the work that I'm supposed to get done on Monday. And that just kind of gives you this reassurance. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it kind of makes you, like, when you wake up on a Monday morning, okay, this is what I need to get done, and I will get it done within today. So that's always a very helpful tip. If you are somebody that loves to party it up during the weekend, make sure that Friday, before you get into your turn off mode, which obviously you deserve, before you turn off, make sure that you make yourself a list. Make sure that you have in mind exactly what you need to get done on Monday, because that can be reassuring, and it can help you kind of eliminate the anxiety that you have over a Monday. Yeah?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Jamie. I mean, my next point is very similar to what you've just actually said there. So get a head start on important tasks, but only when it's necessary. I think only when it's you need to. While taking the weekend to fully disconnect from work is ideal, is it really realistic? I think it's not really realistic. So if you have potentially overwhelming week for a big deadline on the horizon, or consider setting aside an hour or two on a Sunday for work, or to take some of the pressure off come Monday. If you can decide to go down this route and make yourself a wee bit more relaxed on Saturday, you can give yourself a break, and you're still ready to go Monday morning. And when you're overworked and tend to be stressed, so definitely being organised is definitely something to be really crucial.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. That is definitely one thing that you can do for yourself if you have those Monday blues. Just make sure that you no, before we wrap up, we gave you a lot of different things that you can do in order to be as productive as possible on a Monday. But just to wrap things off, Aaron, I don't know if you have anything more to add, but I just want to say that it's super important that you kind of have a positive and optimistic look on life. Believe that every single day is a blessing, because honestly, like we spoke about this last week as well, I've been reading the news for a bit, and I know that there are so many people around the world. I spoke about India last week, we spoke about countries in Asia, countries in Africa, that are having such a tough time with just being able to get access to oxygen with regards to the COVID-19 issue. But there's so many other issues where people are not even aware if they can make it through the night. So I think one of the best things you can do in order to be as productive as possible every day and make sure that every day is as optimistic as possible, is to think of every day as a blessing. And be grateful for the fact that you have some breath in your body, for the fact that you're able to get on with your daily activities, because that definitely is something to be grateful of. Because like I always say, no matter how terrible your life might seem right now, it is a fairy tale for somebody else. It's the dream life of somebody else out there. So make sure that you appreciate that, and that's going to make it that much easier for you to deal with Mondays, or for you to deal with any negative situations in life. That's at least my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely correct, that outlook. I mean, I'm not saying don't enjoy your weekend. I definitely enjoy your weekend as much as you can. See your family, see your friends, but also have that in the back of your mind. Your goals that you're trying to achieve during the week, and your what you're trying to accomplish in your life as well. So don't not enjoy your weekend. Take as much enjoyment out of it, and when it comes to the weekend, that's when the hard work really starts.
Absolutely. That is some very inspirational new pointers, rather, from me and Aaron right here on the chat app. If you are just tuning in, we've been talking to you about different things that you can do to get rid of your Monday blues. And don't worry, because going further on, we have quite some time that we are going to be spending with you. Make sure that you stay tuned. Make sure that you stay connected, because we are going to keep you updated and inspired as well. So make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relaks Radio. With that being said, we are going to head on over to a little break, but make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relaks Radio.
very good morning and welcome back to Relaks Radio. This is the Chat Trap, and we are here keeping you company and giving you listeners some good conversations that are informative and also inspirational to get your bank holiday Monday underway. Make sure to join us by leaving a comment, or if you're listening to us live, give us a call on our number seen on your screens just now, 07852 473 473. We'd love to have a conversation with you over the phone and get your opinion on the conversations we're having just now. Also, if you download the Relaks Radio app on iOS or Android, it's free of charge and you can keep you up to date with all things that we are talking about on today's show. So, Jamie, I just wanted to go on about the 2021 Emmy Awards. Obviously, they have just released some of the candidates that are coming up for some of the genres of the binge-worthy TV shows. There is a little bit of I don't want to say controversy, but a little bit of mixed reviews on some of the contenders. One in particular, The Flight Attendant. I don't know if you've seen that. It's about, it's available on TV just now, but it's one of the most exciting new shows to have emerged in the last year, and will most certainly be picked for a few nominations. The series is Kaylee Cuoco, the first major project since 2019. Her conclusion for the Big Bang series. So she was the actress with the blonde hair. In that show. That was fantastic. I didn't actually watch Big Bang Theory as much as I watched Friends, but it's definitely one of the most successful TV shows in US history. I think it's fair to say. The Flight Attendant follows a flight attendant, obviously named Casey, who's fighting to prove her innocence after winding up in the middle of a complicated murder case. It's gripping, imaginative, and to be honest, we're not entirely sure if it should be classed as a comedy, but it has certain dark humour, lightness, a touch of witty comments, one-liners, which grip the viewers, and I think that's the reason why it's come into that category of comedy. But that's definitely one of the contenders that are kind of stirring the pot a little bit, and said, why is it in the comedy section? But you can definitely see the actress of where she comes from and how she's wanting to portray the role in her new TV series, and I think a lot of fans can kind of see that. She kind of it's kind of like seeing the actors from Friends. They're always in different roles, but you think that's Ross, that's Rachel. So it's kind of like that, but it's definitely a TV show that I definitely want to have a look at and see what's going on here, because it's stirring up quite a bit of controversy over in the US.
Okay, I wasn't aware that The Flight Attendant was disputed so much, but I've heard about the show quite a lot, just because everybody was. I think the reason why it came up to discussion, especially among Americans, is because of the fact that Kaylee, that's her name, correct?
Yeah.
Kaylee was is the main actress in the show, and everybody was super obsessed with Penny and from Big Bang Theory. So after Big Bang Theory, which ended in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, this is Kaylee's biggest production. So which is why I think it garnered so much attention. And I tried to read a few reviews because I haven't gotten to watch the show as well. But one thing that I did realize was a lot of people haven't actually gotten to watch the show yet, right? Everybody was super excited to see Kaylee back in action, and that I think is why it garnered so much attention, why the show was said to be something that's binge-worthy by a lot of these reviews that I did read. But yeah, we would absolutely love to know, if the people listening in, if you have actually watched The Flight Attendant. According to Aaron, I agree as well up to a certain extent, in the sense where I don't know if it could be classed as comedy, just because there is a lot of dark humor, like you said, in the show The Flight Attendant. But you know what? We would absolutely love your opinion. If it's something that we would like to watch, or if it's something that you have watched already, go ahead, let us know. Like Aaron said before, all you got to do is comment down below if you're listening to us on any of our lives, or if you are listening to us on our app or on any other platform. All you got to do is call us on 07852 473 473. Now let's go back into the conversation. We were talking about binge-worthy series that have been nominated for the Emmy Awards 2021. Now, I know the Oscars just concluded, but I think the entertainment industry, everybody as a whole, has started to talk about the Emmy Awards. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of interesting nominations. And a lot of these films, Aaron, actually, I wasn't aware even existed. But I think it was a few hours back, actually, I was going through the nomination list, and that just opened my eyes to so many new, or rather, so many movies and TV shows that I should get watching. And I think a few of those were, like you said, The Flight Attendant, obviously, just because there was so much controversy and just because everybody was talking about it. I definitely do want to check it out and see if it is worth all the hype in the media. The other favorite that was nominated was Blackish. Now, I actually have not watched it. Have you, Aaron?
I've not actually seen that. I've tried to, kind of work my way through some of the categories and look at some of the familiar, movies that I've maybe viewed or, heard about. I've read a few of the reviews from the critics, waiting for the Emmys, and there is a lot of, widespread on it. A lot of things I actually learned as well. Netflix have never won Best Drama, and Best Drama is one of the top prizes at the Emmy Awards. The likes of Game of Thrones, Succession, Breaking Bad even have won this category. And the only show from a streaming platform to have triumphed is Hulu's. The Handmaid's Tale. Breaking Bad received a huge boost from Netflix, but it was actually originally made by AMC. That was something I didn't actually know. And I think Netflix, the streaming platform they actually are, being one of the original, platforms for movies and TV programs, they would definitely be pushing for one of the more prestigious categories in Best Drama.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that was something that I didn't know either. I didn't know that Netflix has not won a drama series, because they are very famous for their original drama series that they show on the platform. But that just gets me to this other question that I was thinking. That got me thinking. Streaming sites like Netflix. Now, I have parents who are absolute fanatics when it comes to the theater and watching movies in a cinema. Their favorite thing is to walk into a movie theater and just enjoy the movie. And for them, just them being of the older generation, I think one thing that confuses them is the fact that we can have streaming sites like Netflix, and my dad especially thinks that that's the death of cinema. That's the death of movie theaters and good films. Now, that is very interesting, because the first thing that I thought of was this whole concept of the death of cinema. When you said that Netflix actually hasn't won any awards for the drama series, what do you think? Do you think that streaming sites actually is going to cause like the death of actual films, or do you think that streaming sites are necessary? I just want to know what your opinion.
I definitely think streaming sites are good for TV series. I personally don't watch movies on Netflix. I just don't think it's really, something I need to do, because, platforms such as Amazon, Netflix, Apple TV, they're good for like TV series, because you can just take off where you left, and it's kind of good to do that. You wouldn't really be able to do that in cinema. It wouldn't really work. So I definitely think Netflix have a shot this year with Best Drama. Obviously, they released their hit series, The Crown, obviously about the royal family. So that has been fantastic. Obviously, the anniversary of Princess Diana's death, and all the widespread that's come, like with the interviews being taken with Oprah and all that. That's really given the Crown a big boost, and everyone wants to kind of see an insight of the royal family that they've never seen before. And I think most of it is fairly accurate, and the actors and actresses that take part in this show really do the show justice, and they paint their persona very well. I think they've definitely got a chance to win Best Drama in this year's Emmys at Netflix.
Yeah, I think it was nominated last year as well. I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that The Crown is one of the most amazing series out there. Keep aside the drama, keep aside the suspense, and getting like a inside look into what actually goes in the royal family. Keep aside all of that. For me, I think I haven't actually watched too many episodes, but the few that I watched, I think it is some of the most phenomenal acting out there. I mean, those actors and actresses do justice to the characters, and you kind of for me, why I think it's amazing acting is because it kind of feels like you're walking in their shoes, which I think is the best indicator of good acting. So definitely, if you haven't watched Crown, if you haven't watched The Crown, it's very informative as well, because you kind of get to see how the royal family functions. But apart from that, you get to see some really good cinema. You get to see some really good acting by some amazing individuals. So I think, yeah, The Crown definitely deserves a spot on that award list.
Yeah, I definitely would like to hear, what some of our listeners have to say. So definitely don't be shy. Give us a call here at Relax Radio. Give us a like on Facebook. Click that bell icon. You can you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. But definitely, we want to hear your thoughts. So give us a call by calling us on 07852 473 473. We'd love to hear what you have to say about the Emmy Awards.
Absolutely. Just before we go, Aaron, I do want to talk about Bridgerton, and more importantly, Ratched. I don't know if you watched it. It's a series on Netflix, and I don't know if it's too popular. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it's too popular, but I actually did watch it. Okay, and I absolutely loved it. Okay, because like I told you before, I kind of love psychological thrillers, and the Ratched is definitely a psychological thriller, and just going off course, I want to tell you, if you're tuning in and if you are a fan of a true crime, or if you're a fan of psychological thrillers, you should most definitely watch Ratched, because basically what happens on the show is it's about a mental hospital, and how this lady gets in there to how she messes everybody up even more, and she's basically like a nurse. And yeah, it's crazy. There's so many highs, there's so many lows. It's definitely something you should watch, binge watch, if you are somebody that's into psychological thrillers. That's just my own opinion. I would love to know if you watched it, and if you do watch it, go ahead and let us know, and I'll make sure that Aaron watches it too, because it's genuinely one of the most amazing TV series in my opinion. But with that being said, I think it's about that time that we take a little break. I want to say a big thank you going out to everybody that's tuning in. Make sure that you keep it tuned, because we are going to be right back.
A very good morning and welcome back to Relaks Radio. This is the Chat Trap, and myself and Jamie will be keeping you company and giving you some good conversations and inspiration to get you through this Monday morning. So make sure to join us by leaving a comment. If you are listening to us live, give us a call on the number displayed on your screens, 07852 473 473. Also, if you could download our app, the Relaks Radio app on iOS or Android, it's completely free of charge and it will keep you up to date on everything myself and Jamie will be talking to you about today. We have covered a few topics, Jamie, just following from the binge-worthy TV series and the Emmys. We're now going to go into a little bit more serious and obviously something that's breaking in news today about Charlie Hanson, the British film director. Obviously, some news have come out today, so I'll let you kind of go on about that.
All right. So basically, Aaron, what I wanted to keep everybody listening in informed about was this whole Charlie Hanson case. And I feel like this year specifically, even last year, these few years actually, with regards to Hollywood, with regards to the entertainment industry as a whole, there has been a spotlight that has been put on sexual misconduct. And, there have been a lot of producers, actors, actresses that have come forward and that have been, that have had to face consequences for their wrongdoing. And I think one of the most familiar cases is Harvey Weinstein. But recently as well, Charlie Hanson, apparently this award-winning producer, Charlie Hanson, has been removed from Netflix production Afterlife after he was suspended, as also he was suspended from BAFTA following accusations by women of historical sexual misconduct. Now, I'm so glad that Netflix and BAFTA took action after being contacted by several women this week. And Ricky Gervais, who is the Afterlife creator and actor, said he was super shocked and that he was really appalled by these allegations. Now, of course, Mr. Hanson had said that based on the summaries that was provided to him, the accusations were demonstrably false. Now, I feel like that's what everybody says when there are certain allegations that are thrust upon them. But of course, I'm so glad that Netflix and BAFTA actually suspended him upon, looking into these allegations and finding out that there was a chance that they might be true. Now, the women sent their accusations anonymously to BAFTA and Netflix on Monday, and the first story was reported by Broadcast, if I'm not mistaken. And right after these accusations were made, Mr. Hanson actually was suspended, like I just told you, from the production of Afterlife, with filming its third series currently underway. And now the reason why I brought that up again is to just show to everybody listening in that it's a pretty big deal to suspend a producer, a director, especially in a TV series that's almost in its third series. But understanding that BAFTA, Netflix especially, has gone ahead and suspended Charlie Hanson for these allegations, this goes on to show that they do acknowledge that sexual misconduct definitely deserves consequences, which I absolutely love, and I applaud platforms like Netflix for actually doing it, taking that extra step, even though it would probably cost them a lot of profit with regards to producing Afterlife. It's amazing that they took this step and they actually suspended Charlie Hanson and made it public and told people about this. So the decision apparently was made immediately to remove him from production, and apparently, according to sources, this matter is being handled adequately and appropriately. But I think the reason I wanted to bring this up and talk about this was just to pinpoint just how many cases that are similar to this have been happening in the past few years. It's actually, it's insane, to hear that there are actresses. I read stories of Angelina Jolie, when she came out about Harvey Weinstein, of such prominent and very powerful actresses, how they came up and said about the assaults that were made towards them and about the things that were asked of them, especially by producers and directors. It's actually horrific to hear.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, and I'm so glad in this day and age, big corporations are just closing down, just shutting it down as soon as it's mentioned. The Harvey Weinstein, controversy, really open light on this corporation and what the dangers are in people. And I'm just so happy Netflix even released a statement. They said, whilst the allegations are unrelated to this time on the show, we immediately removed him from the production and referred the matter to the police. And yeah, it's so good that they've just done that. And Ricky Gervais also did say, as you did say, he's shocked and appalled to learn the historical allegations made by a number of women against Charlie Hansen. The decision was made to immediately remove him from the production, and I'm confident the matter is being handled thoroughly. The Golden Globe and BAFTA-winning producer has worked on several of Gervais's, British projects, including 2016 David Brent Life on the Road film, and Hansen's agent, United Agents, said they are not currently working with him and removed his profile from the website. So it just shows that all organisations are really, taking a really no tolerance policy on this, and no one agrees with it. So it's good to see that these sort of society changes are getting put into place.
Absolutely. I am so glad that things like this are being done. Especially the Harvey Weinstein scandal or controversy that took place a few years back, actually just concluded last year. This year, actually, my bad, in April, if I'm not mistaken, in April, 5th of April, 29th of May and 5th of April was when he was given his 23-year prison sentence, and, the courts came about that. But the reason why people started speaking out, especially in the entertainment industry, is because of movements like Time's Up and Me Too. And I'm so glad that we live in a day and age where it's thought to be normal to actually speak up about things like this, because there was a time, I actually did watch a documentary of all the actresses that spoke up against Harvey Weinstein, where they say that they were too afraid, because most of these cases, especially with like Angelina Jolie, Reese Witherspoon, if I'm not mistaken, it had happened way before they plummeted into their careers. It had happened just when they started their careers, and they said at that time they were vulnerable and they didn't know that they would receive the sort of positive feedback if they spoke up about it, and they were scared of the power relations, because especially in the entertainment industry, a very few hold that power, and it's so sad that women feel like they have to fulfill things that they don't want to do in order to get a role or become famous. It's so sad that, especially for women in the entertainment industry, it's not just based off talent. It's about, just being able to fulfill whatever your superiors want to, which is absolutely horrendous, And I'm glad that people are speaking out. I'm so thankful to movements like Time's Up, like Me Too, who normalized speaking up about this. And that's what, Aaron, we've been talking about the entertainment industry, the big commercial entertainment industry. But let's talk about this scenario in a more household level, what people like you and me, people in our families, what we can do, because sexual misconduct is not something that's out of the ordinary. 1 in 4 women have experienced some sort of sexual harassment, sexual misconduct on a day-to-day basis, which is a lot, and I think it's important that we start having these conversations even in our households. One thing that I absolutely stand for is how we need to start teaching, especially children and the younger generation, that it's important that if something does happen, they need to talk about it. Because right now, I don't know about other people out there, but I definitely feel like at least a few years back, it was kind of taboo to talk about, like, if something was done against you, or if you did feel sexually harassed or some sort of abuse. It was taboo to talk about it. It was taboo to bring it up, because there was so much victim shaming that was going on. But we live in a different century now. We live in a different age, and I think it's very important to apply that to our households as well.
Yeah, I definitely think the changes in society are really, is giving a front foot on these sort of situations, and harassment levels, and domestic violence, and all that sort of related things are really getting closed down. And there's a zero tolerance policy on this here in the UK, and I really think that is the way to go forward. Definitely, to be more educated could be something we can look to do. If it's using platforms such as this on Relaks Radio, educating our viewers and giving them a little bit more insight onto what the seriousness of these crimes actually are. It's definitely something that other corporations can take on board. Even schools, they can kind of educate their children on the seriousness of crimes, not just harassment and sexual abuse. It can be other things such as anything. It could be any crimes that they can just educate them on, and show them the seriousness of it, and what the consequences actually are. A lot of people don't realise the consequences and what that can do to affect someone's life, not just the person that's being harassed. It can also affect the person doing it. It can come back and bite you, as we've seen with Harvey Weinstein and Charlie Hansen. It really shows that no matter what you've done in your past, it can come back and bite you. So definitely, education should be something that is put to the sword and taught for the younger generation.
Oh yeah, 100%. I believe that it's something that needs to be taught to our younger generations. We need to start having these conversations. We've seen how important it is, especially in the entertainment industry, to speak up about misconduct that is happening, and not just against women. That's another thing that we need to talk about. It's that there is a lot of harassment that males go through in our society as well, and as taboo and as out of the ordinary as that may sound, it's a reality, and that's a fact, and it's super important that we just teach. It doesn't even have to be younger generations, maybe people who aren't as woke, who aren't aware that you need to speak up about things. It's so important to let people know and use your platforms to educate people about the importance of human rights, basically, and how it applies to every single person, despite your gender, despite your race, despite what kind of community you belong to. You absolutely have that sort of power, and I feel like that's what we need to disseminate. That's what we need to tell everybody and make everybody aware of. So that's definitely a good thing that's happening in the 21st century, where people are speaking up more. But that doesn't mean that there is a decrease in the kind of misconduct that is happening. There's still a lot of things that's happening, and especially if you're in the UK, I want to tell you that there's so many options, especially if you're a woman or a male that undergoes any sort of abuse or harassment, even if it's verbal. A lot of us just kind of what's the word, ignore.
Yeah,
you push it off. Exactly. We tend to push it off and be like, oh, it's not such a big deal, whereas that's kind of what builds, if you know what I mean. That's kind of what accelerates to something that's intolerable. So it's super important, no matter how minute it might seem, it's super important to speak up about these harassments, verbal or physical. And yeah, that's the only way we can eradicate this menace that is there of sexual misconduct, harassment, and abuse.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad that the UK are taking more of a harsher stance on it, and it paints a better picture for us as a country, and shows that we say no to any sort of crime such as this. So it's definitely good the way we're going. I just hope that other countries follow suit, such as America and other Canada, other leading corporations in the movie industry and the film industry. I think they definitely should follow us and see what we're doing in terms of this, in terms of hate crimes and harassment crimes, etc. These are a very, very serious matter, and we should really be taking the stance that we are. This is very good where we're going.
Absolutely. With that being said, it's about the time that we take a little break, but I want to remind you that there is definitely help out there. There's technology that's developed, and our government is amazing when it comes to offering help. Whatever kind of situation that you are, if it's harassment, if it's some sort of abuse that you are facing, domestic abuse, if it's on public transport, whatever it is, there's definitely help out there. So never lose hope, and make sure that you reach out, because like what I always say, you can't be helped or rather help can be given only to people that want to be helped. So make sure that you don't just do it for your sake, especially if you've endured some sort of abuse or sexual harassment. It's super important that you speak up, not just for your benefit, but for the benefit of all the other people that go undergo the same situation as you. So please know that there is definitely help out there. There's so many options that you can reach out to that are government state certified. So make sure that you reach out to these services and get as much help as you possibly could, because you definitely deserve it and you are definitely worth it. With that being said, let's head on over to a little break, but we'll have a lot more interesting conversation for you as soon as we come back. Welcome back to the show. I am Jamie, and this is, of course, Relax Radio. Hope you are having yourself an amazing day so far. There's a lot of things that's happening in the UK and around the world as well, and we just want you to be informed and inspired. So if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to keep yourself informed, if you want to stay updated, all you got to do is make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relax Radio. Now, if you want to be a part of the show and let us know what's going on, if you just want to share with us how your day is going, we would absolutely love to hear from you. All you got to do is call us up on 07852473473. Or you could very simply comment down below. Now, if you're listening to us on any of our lives, we would absolutely love to know how your day is going. If you want to contribute to the conversation we are having, we'd also love to hear from you. All you got to do is connect with us, and we will definitely take it on air. And if you have an opinion, or something to add to anything that we're saying, please do go ahead and do that. I also want to tell you that we have a lot of people listening in from a lot of different platforms. We have our entire Relax family with us. So if you want to make your voice be heard about, say a certain issue, or if you just want to give a little update to the fellow listeners listening in, all you got to do is get it through to us, and we will make sure that that happens.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that we should definitely start using our platforms, and our listeners can download our app and stay in touch with myself and Jamie. We're talking all things inspirational and what you can do. With your Bank Holiday Monday, we spoke earlier about what the weekends just for having fun. Not only that, but your full week. Apparently, this week the UK is supposed to have really nice weather during the week, and that's what we're going to go ahead and talk about today. So, we're going to talk about what you can do with your hot weather, and what you can do after being cooped up in your house for so long during lockdown. So, Jamie, I don't know about yourself, but being out now and the restrictions easing, it feels so much better just getting out there and enjoying what the UK has to offer. I didn't realise how many hidden gems the UK actually have. I've been dying to get away on holiday and go to Spain or something and get some heat, but it seems the sun's out today, and I'll be looking forward to kind of enjoying the sun later on today. I think there's so much things that we can do, like going for cycles, or going for a nice hike, or even enjoying your own back garden and just soaking in the hidden gems that the UK has. What about yourself? What brings you enjoyment when the sun's out?
Definitely being outdoors. I absolutely love nature. I absolutely love going on hikes. Just exploring nature as a whole is one of my favorite things to do. And I have a lot of friends that are not too much of outdoorsy people, if you know what I mean. They'd more rather stay indoors and watch a movie. But because of me, I forced so many people that were proven that came out and said, no, we don't like to be outdoors. We like indoors things better. But I forced these people to actually try it out, and guess what? All of them actually love it. So I have an entire friend circle that absolutely loves to be outdoors, especially when the weather is nice and bright like this. And that just goes to show that even if you think that you're not such a outdoorsy person, there's something for everybody in nature. And I think it's one of the most beautiful and most, literally, it's free of charge. All you gotta do is just go out, maybe have a picnic with your family. That's something that's amazing to do if you can't really go on a hike. But if you could go on a hike, you become more aware of your own body, you become aware of nature, and one of the most beautiful feelings for me in the world is kind of becoming one with nature, being able to see the sunrise maybe in the morning. Oh, that feeling, it just makes your day so much more positive and so much better.
Yeah, I definitely think taking up some new hobbies as well is something our listeners can take on board as well, especially if the weather's so nice like it is today. Taking up new hobbies, like I've recently always said to myself, I'd love to try playing golf, but I don't know how that would kind of pan out, especially if I've not played it in so long. I don't think I've got the patience either to kind of stick with it. But no, I think today I've got a few things I kind of want to do. I'd like to go for a nice walk, even go for a picnic. I might just get a few things and go for a picnic, take a book with me and enjoy what the UK has to offer. It's so good that the sun has chose to come out in the summertime after being locked in for so long. It's a great feeling, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Make use of this opportunity. Make use of this opportunity to go out to enjoy some time with friends and family. And I think that's super important to just just chill for a little, because we're so entrapped in this like busy schedule of life, and we always have something to do and something to think of. We're always so stressed out. And for me, actually, Aaron, I'm giving a lot of personal examples today, but I think this could really help everybody listening in. One thing that I do when I'm really stressed out, or I tend to get anxious over if I have a lot of things that I'm supposed to be doing, especially it's end of semester and there's so many assignments to hand in, and it's just a lot of stress, right? And one thing personally that helps me so much is just go outside. I have the privilege of having like a little balcony situation that I can see all of my town, which is absolutely amazing. Even if you don't, just go near a window, just look outside, and that, I believe, can help you in so many ways to relieve stress per se. And that is amazing. That's just one of the amazing things that nature gives us. And yeah, it's amazing. And like you said, Aaron, the weather is really good as well. So I want to remind everybody listening in to make use of this opportunity, because it's not like this always, and it's very rare that it's nice and bright like this. So make sure that you do use this opportunity to do something with the people that you love.
Yeah, I definitely want to just reiterate there. If you want to call in 07852 473 473, we'd love to hear what you have to say and what you're getting up to on your bank holiday Monday here in the UK. So definitely tune in. I would love to kind of see what kind of hobbies you do. If you're looking to take up a new sport like myself, then definitely get in touch, and we'd love to kind of talk you through that. But yeah, just wanted to kind of ask you, Jamie. Are you trying any new sports, any new hobbies that you're looking to get involved with during just now? Obviously,
Okay, that's actually very interesting, because I just started taking up like badminton. I know it's not too popular, but it's definitely, because I do play a lot of table tennis. If you've ever played, I don't know, but badminton and tennis generally is something that I'm trying to get into. I don't know as of yet if I'm any good at it, but yeah, badminton is definitely one thing. It's not as intense as tennis is, but it's definitely so much more relaxing to say the least. And that just brings me to a very interesting line of conversation. Thank you for asking that question, Aaron. It just goes to show how important hobbies are, right? And it's amazing to be able to relax to something that you like to do that has absolutely nothing to do with your work. And it can be something like painting, it could be reading. I absolutely love to read as well. Just it's super important that everybody just figures out what they love to do. And we've spoken about this before, Aaron, but a lot of us the kind of work that we're doing, especially if you're doing like a 9 to 5 job, it's very rarely that we do things that we love to do. Most of the time it's like a financial situation, it's the economy where you're forced to maybe sit at a desk 9 to 5, but that's probably not what you want to do, or that's not what you love to do. So I want to take this few minutes to remind you that take some time, dedicate some time in your day to do what you love to do, even if it's something like creating content, or even if it's I'm running out of hobbies. What are the other hobbies that are there?
There's loads of different hobbies you can do. I hate it when you're overthinking something and there's so many things, but you just can't remember all of them. But there's so many different things you can do. You can I don't know, pick a new sport. I think definitely you said badminton. Trying something different, getting out your comfort zone is something that a lot of people are just afraid to do. Just get out there and enjoy what life has to offer. We've lost so much this past year just being locked in, and definitely make up for the lost time. I was watching a couple of the football games that were available this weekend. Obviously the Champions League final, the big one that was played. It was so good to see fans back in the stadium and things like that. So people are definitely taking on board, to just like live their life, because we've lost so much over this past year, and definitely enjoy what the UK has to offer. That's what we're trying to get at just now, is enjoy what the UK has to offer. You know, that it's such a great country and such a great, you know, just social life that we've got. You know, meet your friends, meet your family that you've missed out on seeing, but definitely taking up a new hobby, if that's anything from gardening to a new sport to, you know, cycling, whatever, just anything, just get out there and enjoy yourself.
Absolutely. With that being said, it's about that time that we take a little break. We've been talking about this for quite some time, but we do have a lot more to talk to you about, because next up, I actually do want to talk about Olivia Rodrigo for a second, because she is somebody that is spoken about all over the world, not just in the UK, not just in the United States, but she is a global sensation. And she's definitely somebody that we want to talk to you about. So make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relaks Radio.
A very good morning and welcome back to Relaks Radio. This is the Chat Trap, and we're here keeping you company and giving you listeners some inspirational and good conversations to get you through your Monday. So make sure to join us on or leave me a comment on our Facebook. Get in contact with us on your with the number on your screen with 07852 473 473. Also, if you could download our Relaks Radio app, we'd love to get you up to date with everything on iOS or Android. It's completely free, and you'll keep up to date with all the conversations myself and Jamie are talking about today. So, Jamie, I was just going to actually say to you, 18 years old, I was at school, just finishing high school. I had a job that I used to work behind the bar. And yeah, that was what I was doing when I was 18. What about yourself?
Not too different actually. Same, finishing school, doing some part-time work, and yeah, nothing more than that. Why do you ask, Aaron?
Well, I'm just asking because obviously Olivia Rodrigo has become the youngest solo artist to top both the UK single and album chart at the same time, and you'll never guess she's only 18 years old. Her debut album Sour enjoyed the biggest opening week of 2021, setting a streaming record. So it's attracted the highest number of streams for a debut album in the opening week, overtaking previous records from the recent holder Lewis Capaldi. So,
Okay.
Meanwhile, her single "Good for You" is the year's biggest number one, notching up 117,000 chart sales across 7 days. That's ridiculous for somebody so young.
I actually never thought she was 18 years old. I thought she was at least 25, just because of like the quality of her lyrics, right? There is so much emotion. I think the first song of hers that got super popular was Driver's License. I don't know if you've heard it, but it became such a bop. It became so popular amongst especially teenagers, and the fact that she was able to put so much emotion to her lyrics, and the fact that she was able to connect with so many different people that she's never seen in her life before just by one song. That ability that Olivia Rodrigo has is absolutely, commendable, and I'm super glad that she's recognized because she totally deserves it. She's 18 years old. The rest of us were barely out of school at 18, and now she is a global star. And why I love Olivia Rodrigo is also because she has a very positive outlook on life. She says that she's always loved performing, she's always loved writing songs, and the reason why she wanted her songs to be heard by the masses is not because she wanted to be popular, but more of because she wanted to share her experiences with other people. And for a fact, I know that a lot of kids, a lot of teenagers in the UK used Olivia's song Driver's License as a remedy to breakups, especially during the lockdown. I feel like more people were going through breakups during the lockdown. I don't know why, and I have absolutely no evidence to back that up. But that's just my feeling, And I feel like Olivia's song helped so many people get through it, and just have a good time and connect with the lyrics and just have some good music. So that's amazing that Olivia Rodrigo is the number one selling artist, and she was also able to score a chart double in the UK, which is amazing. And yeah, you said that she had up to, what was it, 117,000 chart sales. That's insane because it's only been about a week, I think less than a week, that the album Sour was released, and that just goes to show that her music is very connectable. You can relatable is the word I was looking for. Her music is absolutely relatable, and it's amazing that somebody so young is able to do big things. And Aaron, actually, thank you for bringing this topic up, because one of my personal favorite artists is Billie Eilish, and similar to Olivia Rodrigo, Billie Eilish became famous when she was about 17 years old when she wrote her first song, and she blew up as well, yet again because she was able to be vulnerable enough to almost convey her emotions in her songs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the main thing is that these young people, we always forget to kind of take into consideration the actual age of you know, the age of these people, and you know, a lot of young people are still using like the Billie Eilish vibes. They've got you know, they love dressing the same as her. They love doing all that, and you know, it's so easy for us to forget that the age of these people. And you know, I'm just going back to Olivia Rodrigo. Obviously, it's 117,000 chart sales across 7 days. You know, that figure includes 13.5 million streams, according to the official charts company, who called the US singer the year's biggest breakthrough artist. So that's massive for a company of that size in the US to kind of label somebody as 18 years old to as a breakthrough artist, which is fantastic. Obviously, Rodrigo's debut single, Driver's License, as you'd mentioned, topped in the UK in January. So obviously, she's got a very big following from across the world, not even in the US, but in the UK also, obviously coming through in January at the #1 spot. So the song broke Spotify records for the most streams in one day, peaking at 17 million streams on 12th of January, which is absolutely surreal numbers for just someone with such, you know, bags of potential and what she does. You know, Sour, the album Sour is 51,000 sales, including streams, sales, and downloads. So it makes the biggest opening week for a debut album in 2 years since Capaldi's last album in May 2019. So Rodrigo's album achieved 45.7 million streams of individual tracks over the past 7 days, the official charts company said. And you know, she's also the first artist for 6 years to both top the charts on the release of their debut album, and the last was Sam Smith in 2015 with the album The Lonely Hour and single Lay Me Down. So you know, it just shows she's being compared to artists such as Sam Smith and, you know, Billie Eilish, as you said, two massive names in the music industry, and she must be feeling so proud of herself, the accomplishments she's completed. And you know, this is only the start for her. You know, imagine what she's going to do later in life.
Absolutely. No, that's absolutely true. You know, the fact that all the artists that you mentioned, actually, Sam Smith, Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, the people that blew up, that you know, that became household names. One thing all of these artists have in common was that they weren't afraid to almost showcase to the world their emotions, their vulnerabilities. And I think, especially with people like Sam Smith, even Billie Eilish, you know, Billie Eilish spoke of mental illness, and she spoke of the issues that she had to go through on you know, mental health aspect. Whereas Sam Smith came out about his basically his coming out, you know, and he spoke up about how hard it was to live in this society, being different to the majority. And I think that's kind of the main takeaway here, right? You need to be able to move out of your comfort zone. I'm sure it wasn't easy for Sam Smith to showcase his talent, knowing that there's going to be judgment. All of these artists, anybody who is as famous as they are today, is because they weren't afraid to kind of take the criticism. And I think that's one of the most important things that we need to remember in our lives as well. You know, criticism is always just going to be there. We spoke of this last week as well, and I told you how, you know, if you have people that judge you, or if you do have people that criticize you in your life, it just means that you're that much closer to success. You know, if you don't want to be criticized, well, then you don't do anything, you don't say anything, you basically don't do anything with life. So what's the point of life, you know? So I guess that's one of the main takeaways. And also, Aaron, like you said, these artists are super young, right? That just goes to show that age is never a barrier to do what you love, right? So one thing that I always hear people say is, oh, I'm like 35 years, or I'm 55 years, I am too into my career to do what I love, or I'm too engrossed in my career, or too in deep of my career to actually change paths and do what I love. But these artists that we spoke of just now, goes to show that age means absolutely nothing. You know, even if you're 60 years old, or even if you're 15, it doesn't matter. All you gotta do is do what you love and just try your best to accomplish your goals. I think that's super important. What do you say, Aaron?
Yeah, I definitely think age is just a number. I think People if they put in the time and work, and that this goes for all departments. It's not just in the music industry or obviously or anything like that. For all of our listeners here, no matter what you do in your work or in your corporate life, age is just a number. It's down to the amount of hours you put in the background, training, or if it's working on something or a project. It's the amount of time and effort you're willing to put in really shows that what you are capable of doing, and that can go for anything really. So I definitely think for all our listeners, keep motivated in what you do in your life, and if you work hard enough at something, it'll definitely benefit you for the better. We can all take a leaf out of Olivia Rodrigo's book and just show, all you need is a little bit of hard work and dedication, and it'll all pay off.
Absolutely, 100%. Hard work and dedication cannot be compromised. And yeah, if you just do have something that you love to do with your life, I think as much as we as individuals deserve to showcase our talent to the world, it's also very important that other people kind of get to see your talent. Does that make any sense? As much as you deserve to showcase to other people your talent, other people deserve to see and receive some kind of enjoyment from whatever you're capable of. And that's why I think it's super important, no matter what industry or no matter what field you are in, just try to be the best at it. Try to be the best version of yourself, so that one day when you leave this earth, you could be absolutely satisfied with the kind of life you lived.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do urge our listeners to really tell us what they love doing. We'd love to help you. Follow us on Twitter for the latest tweets. On Relaks Radio, we can talk things through, and I'll be happy to give some personal advice on what we can do moving forward, and for our listeners. So it's definitely important. In summary, it's definitely important to work hard at what you're doing. If it's a specific trade, if it's a new hobby like we talked about before, if it's anything, we need to really work hard on it, and we'll reap the benefits in the long run.
Absolutely. With that being said, it's about that time that we head on for a little break, but make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relaks Radio. welcome back to the show. I am Jamie, and we got Aaron on board as well. And both of us have been keeping you company for quite some time. And we've been talking about a lot of interesting things. And that's what this show is about, okay? This show is about keeping you informed and inspired at the same time. So if you want to, stay informed, and if you want to keep yourself updated, all you got to do is make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relaks Radio. Now, with that being said, Aaron, I was actually thinking of something very interesting, okay? And that's that, most of the decisions that I make in my life, or certain choices that I make in my life, I've come to realize that sometimes I don't know why I take those decisions, or why I make certain choices, and that got me thinking to what extent are we actually ruled by things we aren't conscious of? Now, I know this is kind of a very what's the word, a kind of deep topic to be talking about, but I realized that this question is something that have come into almost everybody's head at some point of time, as to why do you make certain decisions, why do you fall in love with your loved one, why did you buy your car, why did you decide to go to school to do your higher education. These are all, when you start examining choices like this that you've made in your life, even if they're important, even if they're not so important, you might come to the realization that you don't have much of a clue as to why you did these certain things, And I think those are the moments where we as individuals come to wonder whether we really know our mind, because that's certainly one thing that came into my mind when I was thinking of, okay, why did you do this, Jamie? Why did you do that? I realized that I don't know why I did that, and that made me think that maybe I'm not aware of my own mind. I'm not aware of what actually goes on in my consciousness. This thing called conscious awareness, I started looking up, and I realized that maybe I don't have it. Right? Has that ever happened to you, Aaron?
Yeah, I think so. I was. It's funny you say that. I was listening to a podcast. Elon Musk was on, and he was talking about the strategies and why people kind of buy certain things or wear certain things. It's not really about them. It's kind of a wee bit out of context, but he said he had business strategies to make people love his products that are basically the same as other products, but because he has certain strategies, they're subconsciously they think it's the best. And there's a phrase that he said called primate buying. And essentially it goes down to the fact that we're comparing ourselves with other people, comparing ourselves to our role models and, influencers and, people who are high up in maybe state jobs, etc. We want to kind of be in their position. And I think a lot of people are either, trying to change their persona a bit or trying to be someone they're not they're not and need to kind of get themselves subconsciously in that frame of mind, if that makes sense. I think I'm kind of going off in a little bit of a tangent, but I'll put it into context for you. So, there's a thing called primate buying that I mentioned, that Elon Musk mentioned, and he basically said, you see your celebrities in their fancy cars and all the rest of it, and Elon Musk created a Tesla that is affordable in to most people, affordable in the way that it can come across as like a normal car, and it would still be a little bit more expensive than the average car. But the thing was, a lot of people were buying these things, and it came down to the fact that these celebrities, these A-listers were driving this brand, or these influencers were posting these pictures of this Tesla, and it just shows that people, if they want something, they're going to go out their way. They're not going to be influenced by anyone else. They're just going to buy if they want it. And I think that's down to a lot of influencers and high up people that can change people's mind just by a couple pictures or a little podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. This fact that a lot of us think that we are not fully aware of, we are not fully in control of the decisions we make is actually not true, right? So according to what you said, there is a lot of things that influence our decisions and like steer our thinking. And most of the time, it's not that we don't know what we're doing, it's just that we're not paying close enough attention. Like what you said, we're influenced by when we look up to our role models, or if you look up to celebrities, we're kind of influenced by the decisions that they make, which is the same thing when it comes to adverts, right? Sometimes you see an advertisement or a commercial being played either on a social media platform or on TV, and you feel this sudden urge to purchase that item, or be a part of that community or whatever. And that just goes to show that human beings in general, that's just not for you or me or Aaron. It's just a human being thing. We're very easily influenced, which is a good thing, but can be kind of not so good at certain times as well. But keep aside these influence factors that comes from things like celebrities and adverts or whatever. Other things that kind of influence the decisions that we make, we don't pay close enough attention to, is things like emotions, moods, and stress and prior beliefs. Now, the first question, Aaron, that I directed to everybody listening in was, do you think, why did you buy your car? Why did you go to school? See, the reason you as an individual, or everybody listening in as individuals, took this decision is because of certain emotions. Or why did you fall in love with your partner? It's because of that emotion that you kind of felt that influenced you to make the decision. Does that make sense? Because according to psychology, it's not that we are not in control of our decisions. We as human beings, we are the only people that are absolutely in control of our thought processes, of what we do, how we act. It's just that sometimes our emotions, our moods, and what we feel is so strong that we kind of tend to not pay close enough attention as to why we make that decision. I think that's very true in terms of falling in love with somebody, right? You never understand why it happens till it's done, and you're just like, whoa, how did I get here in life? So that just goes back to emotions, and how emotions can influence you to make a certain decisions. And that just comes on to this other point that I've been trying to make, to just understand that at the end of the day, it's not that you're ruled by the unconscious. It's just that there are certain things that can influence you. But I think the best thing to do is to understand why you're making certain decisions, and just let life just go with the flow. Especially if it comes to things like falling in love with somebody and you can't understand why you fell in love. It's okay. Not everything in life can be explained. Like there are certain things that just best to remain unexplained or uncomprehended, and that's just it, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's just kind of linking that point in. There was a news article I read quite recently on processed foods that have certain things in them that allow people to just continue to eat and eat and eat the same foods. So that's kind of linking into the fact that we're subconsciously not knowing this, and there's certain things that we just enjoy eating as a snack, but then again they're quite addictive, and we continue to eat them, and it's it goes on to quite a spiral out of control, and that can kind of go into like eating disorders and obesity and things like that. I mean, I'll put my hands up. There's certain foods that I love to snack on, and I can just go and go and go forever and ever and ever. And these are, but it definitely links into the seriousness of it, of the subconscious want to have something, and without us knowing, we don't even know about that. But I'll put it in this way: if you were to go to a fast food restaurant, it doesn't actually fill you up. The meal doesn't actually fill you up, because it's made of certain things that it's made of certain things that it's not the equivalent to a real meal size. So it makes you want to eat more. It wants you to get more, and you don't actually know that until you're doing it. So it kind of links into everything we spoke about in regards to why did we buy this car? We don't actually know until we get the car, and we say, oh well, it has this feature, has that feature, this celebrity has it, that celebrity has it. So it's definitely something we need to think about, and take a step back and definitely review things in a lot more depth before taking rash decisions.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely agree with you. And yeah, that's just how life is. I guess you need to make a conscious decision. Like I told you before, at the end of the day, the only person that has control of how you think and what goes in your head is you. Nobody has. No matter what you see, no matter what you are influenced by. At the end of the day, the only person that has that power and authority is you. So you are absolutely in control of your own thoughts, and it's okay sometimes, like, things just happen and you don't know why it happened. You make decisions based on your emotions and your moods, and you don't know why it happens. Just make sure that if it's a negative thing, if falling in love with someone is not a negative thing at all, but if it is a negative habit that you tend to do unconsciously, just make sure that you rethink. Make sure that the next time you do it, you try a little bit harder to make a conscious decision to avoid whatever that negative habit is. And I think that having that in mind, it's okay to understand that sometimes in life we do things without a reason, and that's just a part of life. That's just a part of being human being. And yeah, it's just you just gotta go with the flow. With that being said, it's about that time that we head on out of here. Aaron, what do you have to say to everybody listening in? I want to say a big thank you.
Yeah, definitely a massive thank you to everyone, tuning in and on all platforms. And don't forget to kind of download our mobile app. It's completely free of charge on iOS and Android. And yeah, keep up to date with everything myself and Jamie and other, hosts on Relaks Radio have to offer. And it will definitely be beneficial moving forward on Europe Week.
For sure. Make sure that you keep it tuned right here on Relaks Radio. We have a lot more interesting shows coming up lined up just for you to have some good conversation so that you are updated and informed as well. We'll catch you tomorrow, same time, same place. Till then, hope you have an amazing, amazing day ahead.